For the last 60 years, Africa has been known more for its despair and poverty levels than its hidden potential and its immense untapped minimal wealth. The reality is that Africa is a land of many opportunities, being a home to a good percentage of the world's diamond and chromium, 40% of the world's hydroelectric power supply, 30% of uranium in the non-communist world, 50% of the world's gold deposits, 90% of the world's cobalt, 50% of its phosphates, 40% of its platinum, and millions upon millions of untilled farmland, not to mention unrivaled savvy-tourism destinations because of its beautiful landscapes and wildlife. But the question that continues to baffle many is, why has the continent remained poor and its people continue to suffer despite its resources?
Africans are poor because they have not developed the capacity to be able to exploit the mineral or natural resources they have. They tend to use other people from wherever, from other continents, just put it up, from other continents, to help them extract. And those people, when they're doing that extraction, then take all the value away from Africans. So it's a paradox that we can be having all these things, yet we are poor.
During early modernization, Europe was considered the place to be. But with time, the populist view has been fading and the new focus is on Africa, the emerging new frontier market, the new super economic bloc.
We've got a young, rapidly growing population. We've got good governance coming into the continent. We've got vast natural resources. That is why you see all the multinational companies and foreign investors coming to Africa to invest, because they know there is money to be made. But we Africans have got money, but it's very little individually. But pulled together, we can reclaim back the capital and our economic future.
Every new day, more and more people are in search of investment avenues that can enable them achieve real returns on their money really fast. A noble cause indeed, but sometimes unattainable, because many focus on doing it alone.
When you do things as an individual, there is a limit to what you can achieve. Let's even take in the capital market. If you have your little savings, if you go to the banks, they will give you very little interest rate. But if you are many, if you come together and form an investment group and you put up your money, if you approach the same bank, they will give you a better rate. What you are saying is that there is much more people can do when they are together. And that's the basic philosophy for the investment groups. And even coming now to ACL, we are saying that our investment groups can achieve more. What about when the groups are together themselves?
It's against this backdrop that Amalgamated Chama Limited, that is the ACL, commonly known as Chama for Chamas, exists.
The Amalgamated Chama Limited is an investment group which has been formed by Kenyan investment groups. We have very many Kenyan investment groups which control about 100 billion Kenya shillings, but they exist as small groups doing investment in small ways because of lack of capital. So they have come together. They have formed Amalgamated Chama Limited, and so that Amalgamated Chama Limited is able to do bigger investments, take higher risks, because they will have more capital.
One of the reasons why we were part of the founding members of ACL is to create a group above the current investment groups who can bring back their resources, both financial, management and skills, and invest at a higher level than individual groups can do.
By joining into this bigger group, you immediately get the benefits of expertise, professional management, and you're able to do things which you cannot do individually. And also, you meet other people, you meet other groups, and learn from each other. That networking is very, very valuable. You cannot capture it in monetary terms.
Closely linked to ACL is Kenya Association of Investment Groups, an association that was founded from the desires of the like-minded who had investors' interest of owning an avenue that could help them grow their wealth in an organized manner.
I used to be called to give talks to various investment groups and chamas, And then one of the participants challenged me, why don't you form an association which can train us, which can bring us together, which can lobby for our interests, which can help us all grow wealthy together.
Amalgamated Chama Limited will pull money from investment groups, which is already doing, it's done it for 1 year, and invest in bigger projects that the smaller groups cannot do.
Founded in 2007, KAIG membership has steadily continued to grow, and today the association prides in her noble achievements in empowering her members with investment education, identifying investment opportunities for her members, and ACL is one of them.
A number of KIG members groups express the interest to invest jointly so that they can do bigger things together than they can do in their individual capacities. For example, they said, why can't we buy a lot of land and build a world-class resort together? Why can't we do things that I cannot do individually? Why can't we build a big shopping mall together? Why can't we own banks together? Why can't we own insurance companies together? Yet we have the capital, but it's scattered among our individual groups. Can't we pool those resources and do big things for all our mutual interests?
So far, we have made inroad in the area of real estate. We have come up with a fantastic project that is going to be ACL Kilimanjaro Holiday Resort at Loitoktok. The land is very prime. It's sitting at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, and we said this should be the town to give Naivasha and Mombasa competition in the area of tourism.
To be a member of ACL, one has to be a member of KAIG. But what does it take to be a member of KAIG?
KIG, you must be an investment group, you must be a chama. You fill an application form with a 5,000 one-off entry joining fee and 10,000 annual fee for the whole group. And that form goes to the board, it's vetted, and once you are approved, then you become a member and you enjoy all the benefits of being a member in KIG.
Since we want continuous investment, and that's the thing we are promoting, continuous saving and investment. Once you bring the first 1 million, which buys you the first shares in ACL for your group, you then continue to bring monthly contributions, just like individuals bring monthly contributions to groups.
You must give a payment plan, because we know that at times your chama's investments might all be fully invested in various assets. So we give you time to pay, but the share price that will accrue to your contributions is when you reach the 1 million shilling mark.
Every other third Saturday of the month between 6 and 8:30 in the morning, ACL plays host to prospective members on a platform of breakfast presentation. Such forums have seen ACL market her investment agenda far and wide, and by the end of each presentation, the attendees have an experience to live.
Based on today's breakfast meeting, we have been shown, or rather a precedence has been sent on how we can forge ahead and ensure that things are done accordingly.
You know, one of the problems we have is management of funds in chamas. Many people are scared because you have an executive committee that steals from the chama, but from the structures we have here, we are confident that the shareholders' funds will be well taken care of.
It's too late for me today, but guess what? At least now I know. Now I've seen the light. When I come in today, I know that in the next few years, I'm going to be also talking about another income. My plan B is finally getting sorted out.
I like the long-term vision and the intention to someday list at a recognized stock exchange. So I feel totally inspired. This is a message I'll definitely take forward to my workmates, to my friends, and ensure that people begin to get a sense of what ACL is doing and even perhaps join this train.
ACL is definitely the investment vehicle for the future, and thus they are now reaching out to Africans beyond the continent borders.
I would advise that if you're outside there, especially in the diaspora, and you want a vehicle that it would be able to assist you to realize some of the dreams you have had for Pan-African investment systems, then this is the vehicle that you should join.
This idea of pooling resources together, all African countries, I think is a fantastic idea, and I believe that if we're able to sort of propagate it in all other African countries, replicate it in all African countries, that it will help in the redevelopment of Africa.
We are presenting ACL as the conduit of bringing back capital that is being made by Africans outside Africa. We have many Africans who are making money and who are growing nations outside Africa.
ACL's vision is to invest not only in Kenya, but all over Africa. And so far, an investment policy statement which clearly maps out the areas of investment they wish to venture is already in place.
The ACL board has spent a lot of time in formulating a very comprehensive investment policy. It has also set out very rigorous criteria and a framework within which all investment decisions are made on behalf of the shareholders. The investment policy statement sets out very clear guidelines on the areas in which ACL can invest in, the level of risk that ACL can take, as well as the investment return objectives.
We are going to invest 50% of our capital in real estate. We are going to invest in venture capital and private equity, and we are going to invest all over Africa.
Venture capital is a private equity class of investment, which basically focuses on high-risk, entry-level investments. So, for example, someone has got an idea. Use a good example of young students. He has an idea using ICT. I have an idea that can make money, but I need money to be able to capitalize myself to do it. Who is going to invest in me? The person who invests in you can be can be an angel investor, an individual who invests in you, or a venture capitalist, someone who takes that risk with you, puts in money into your venture to enable you derive value.
At 57, and when you look at the properties, which I picked those years now, your years, I am guaranteed of good retirement. So that is why I'm here to tell you people, please invest now so that you can retire and in a very comfortable way. Like Tok is a very good investment. Soon you will see how well we are going to be from that investment.
We are telling the Chama this, is that those who have been following up the development of investment groups, they have seen what they have been able to achieve for their members. Now we are saying, if they have been able to achieve that, what about if the Chamas themselves come together? They definitely can achieve much more. And that's why you see ACL is not looking at Kenya. We are saying we want to raise money for Africa. We are saying the investment groups in Kenya can raise money, which they invest in Kenya, but we are also saying that with a large amount of money, we look at investment opportunities in the whole continent. We are just pushing forward the very philosophy that governs the investment groups.
You can have ACL as a proportion of your investment portfolio. Another thing is that it's a hassle-free investment. Like, for example, we've had some groups join ACL with pretty much the whole portfolio, and they have it managed by these experienced individuals, and it's hassle-free for them. All they do is invest, attend the briefings, make sure they know what is happening, and make sure they make their contributions, and they expect that return at the end of the day. It's an issue of having an investment that another professional is assessing for you, and you can carry on your day-to-day activities knowing that your investments and your hard-earned money is in safe hands.
Diversity is the key in maximizing returns in investment business, and as such, ACL is also venturing in the insurance industry.
The argument here is that if you go to an insurance company and you are yourself and you get insured, the terms you get are tailor-made to you as a person. But the question you're asking that if we took the group, the ACL group, made up of ACL itself and the various investment groups, that's a large population. And then if you confront insurance companies in terms and ask them to come up with products tailor-made for that bigger group, definitely you get better terms.
Many members of investment groups find insurance expensive, so we've decided to approach insurance in two ways. Members will get the benefit of being in ACL because they will get competitive pricing of the insurance products that they need. The brokers that we intend to work with are going to give ACL agency status, so we will immediately start making returns in that business.
With well-managed investments, it is possible for every investor to realize their dream of good returns on the investment portfolio. At ACL Management, issues are key, and our board of directors that oversees the group affairs is already in place.
In the next 5-10 years, ACL will be the premier investment vehicle for Africa, owned by chamas, formed by chamas, and giving benefits to chamas. And in the next 10 years, we hope to be recognized in a listed stock exchange somewhere in Africa, so that the whole of Africa can invest in us.
Wealth creation and investment education go hand in hand, and the demand for such knowledge outstrips the supply. A situation that has seen ACL founder members make appearances on TV business talk shows to share the success stories on how to seize and sustain investment opportunities.
Investment groups,
yes.
Those are what we call chamas.
Yes.
Okay, and why are they important? How were they started? Why were they started?
More than 60% of Africa population is below the age of 25 years. A fact that ACL is so much aware and has created a place for them.
Since I joined, I can say I've really saved a lot and developed that discipline. I've also gotten the opportunity to interact and network with various investment professionals who are basically more experienced than I am in the field, and it's basically been a wonderful time for me.
The exposure is brilliant. I am able to actually discuss my little knowledge, if I may say so, with people who are managing funds for some of the biggest companies in the country and in the region. That on its own puts me on a different perspective in how I invest. I'm able to just have an opportunity to sit with some of these people, which is non-existent in any other fora.
Some of the benefits I've gotten in joining Amalgamated is the professional management of running of ACL, which helps in my investment portfolio. Two, there's economies of scale because of the wide number of people who are investing in the association. And three, we also have risk reduction due to diversification of the investment portfolios under Amalgamated Chama Limited.
Go into our universities, into our tertiary education sectors. There are very, very many investment groups with brilliant ideas. And that's why at the Kenya Association of Investment Groups, we have decided to register all of them free, and we'll have an annual investment competition where they come and give their good investment ideas. And Amalgamated Chama Limited, the Chama of Chamas, has undertaken to vet those ideas, and the good ideas they will provide funding for. We are equipping our youth.
Just as the Jews proverb goes, if you want your dream to come true, you must first wake up. The time is now for every investor to wake up. Time is now to join ACL, the investment train for Africa, in Africa, and by Africans.
We want foreign investors to meet us investing in Africa. And Africa is the continent of this century. When it comes to growth, when it comes to potential, it's the continent that is expected to feed the rest of the world.
ACL is providing capital for Africa by Africa for Africa's growth.